worries and anxieties. You can go on doing that because that's the nature of human personality. If you are injured, your hand goes on experiencing pain. If it were injured in your hand, you are injured in your mind, you go on experiencing pain. But in spite of that, there comes another level. You don't lose yourself in it. You don't become absolutely frustrated and develop a sense of absolute negativity. You are absolutely detached. The sun will shine again. The moon is behind the cloud, and the cloud is going to go away. And when the moon emerges out of the dark cloud, it shines brighter than before. Believe it or not. Om Yogena Chittasya Padena Vacham Malam Sharirasya Cha Vaidyakena Yopa Karot Tam Pravaram Muninam Patanjalim Pranjaliranatosmi. I offer adorations to the best of sages, Sage Patanjali, who gave to the world the scripture of yoga for purifying the mind. He gave the scripture of Ayurvedic medicine for purifying the body, and a scripture for purifying the tongue, a grammar, a grammatical scripture for purifying the speech. That sets you up with the ideal goal. If you have only health of the body, that's not enough. The body has to be healthy. That's the foundation. But while you are building up the health of body and mind, and if your tongue has bifurcated, enveloped, snake-like, then you are not really evolving. So, health of the tongue has many implications. How do you express yourself? What type of words you want to use in a particular situation? Whether your words are going to touch the heart of people in a profoundly positive way. If it is not, stay quiet. Satyam vada, priyam vada, na vada, satyam apriyam. That's the Vedic law. Speak the truth, but not be too fast. Look back and think, am I speaking it in a pleasant way? Put sugar into your tongue. Sweeten the speech. But then again, step back. Satyam vada, priyam vada, na vada, satyam apriyam. Ask yourself, what will be the effect? Am I satisfying my ego by saying that? Am I helping the person by pointing out to their error? If the answer is you are satisfying yourself, navada, that is not real practice of truth, even though it looks like true. All these are implied. Therefore, life is beautiful. Mother alone knows. So on the Mother's Day, we offer adorations to all mothers. The mother has to know all these things. Now with this, the sutra I am dealing with is 20th Sutra of Samadhi Pad. The highest attainment is termed Samadhi. Samadhi is attaining super consciousness. Through Samadhi, your intellect emerges in the form of intuitional intellect. The term used is prajna. In the previous sutra, Patanjali Maharshi stated that there are highly advanced souls who have accomplished all the stages of practice in their past life due to very slight obstacle. They had to enter into embodiment. But while they are entering into the embodiment, for example, even as an infant in a mother's womb, enlightenment dawns. It's very difficult to understand by the masses. You never think of children being infants, even before birth, enlightened. But you must realize your soul. In other words, they are born enlightened. As easily as birds are born to fly. They don't get any flight lessons. They're born to fly. Fishes are born to stay into the water, doing tratak all the time, keeping eyes open. Wouldn't that be wonderful if human beings were born enlightened? And there are those who have already accomplished. It doesn't come to them just by accident. Whatever you acquire in this life has not been imposed upon you just by some whim of the Creator. You have been yourself guiding your mind through repeated embodiments. You have gone through many lessons, many things you have learned. And all that you have learned, nobody can take it away from you, even when you go to sleep. They stay with you. Nobody can diminish it. For example, you have acquired some knowledge, speaking like 20%. That much knowledge you have acquired. And someone steals away 5% of that, or 10%. You come in the world well prepared and find yourself foolish. Lost all the wisdom. What I'm trying to lead you to understand that the way you find yourself from the very childhood, your intelligence, your special gifts of nature that has come through you, maybe music, mathematics, whatever. It hasn't come to you because some accident took place, some mix-up of chromosomes and so forth. It has because of your karma. You have been the one responsible, and what you have, nobody can take away unless you decide to dismantle it. Others exist only to support your karma. And their existence impact upon you positively and negatively depending upon your karma. All these subtle points. Now we come to more practical level, those who have not attained enlightenment. So that type is called bhava pratyaya. From the very birth, you have the gift of enlightenment. And we have the scriptures like Naciketa was 5-year-old and he had absolute enlightenment. A great God gives to him. He is presented with Yama and he expresses his wish to attain enlightenment. And Yama says, you are just a baby, a child. I will give you better things than what you are asking for. A good health, and you can live on for 600 years. I will give you all the power of the earth. You can rule over the earth. You can give you all friends. You will be recognized all over the universe. You go viral. Ask for all those things, but not ask for liberation. What will you get out of it? Naciketa simply gives him the quick answer. Oh Lord, don't fool me. Because you are giving me all. But the end of 600 years, you will snatch them all away from me. Keeping myself dull and foolish for 600 years. Please. I don't find anything graceful about it. Imagine. Even an early stage of mind has that type of understanding. To see the difference between going after what is transient, and that is not your goal. The real goal is enlightenment. To have a full revelation of who am I. Now, therefore, certain points to be understood. If you have not come with that gift, how should you practice? What should be the course of your effort that will lead you to enlightenment? Sraddha, Virya, Smriti, Samadhi, Purvaka, Itaresham. Those who have not developed that bhava pratyaya level to be born enlightened, they must take recourse to Shraddha, faith. Each point needs to be developed in you. Faith is the basis. Virya, as faith develops, Sanskrit term Shraddha. Dha term means intellect. As intellect gets purified, it has the ability to reflect the truth and later rationalize it. When you begin to reflect the truth, you don't know exactly what it is. That's how you are born with Shraddha. Immense capacity or immense potentiality of your growth lies in your Shraddha. That Shraddha can be improved on by good association, by spiritual guidance, prayer, meditation, all different types of disciplines. They continue to intensify your faith. You receive greatest nourishment for your faith through scriptures, satsanga, saintly guidance. As faith begins to advance, you discover you have amazing strength in both levels. In vital level, if you are a sports person, you will swing your whatever ball and put it to the right place where it should go. Though you are quite apart from the goal. But a deeper vitality in you doesn't see any difference. As controlled you are in handling a pen, so in the same way you are controlled in throwing something to a particular target. It seems kind of a miracle. But there is no miracle. You and the world are like a big ocean. So as faith develops in you, you begin to discover amazing type of vitality. Vitality expresses in many ways. For example, you can be a performer. You can be a great, eloquent lecturer. You can do many things that dazzle the mind of people. If you want to dazzle the mind of people, the subtle secret behind it allow the faith in your heart turn towards God within you. Seek ye first the kingdom of heaven. As internally you become increasingly aware of how you are rooted in God. The entire world is being handled by God. When you were born, all your childhood days were sustained by God's plan. And that never leaves you. Even when you eat just a popcorn, God is sustaining the movement of the popcorn. Instead of your teeth biting your tongue, you enjoy it, you taste it, you crush it, smash it very violently. You assimilate it. The nutrition is distributed all over wherever needed. Isn't that a miracle? If Shraddha is their faith, you begin to understand that in a deeper, profounder way. And strength begins to blossom. Mind becomes engrossed, the third level, Smriti. Smriti refers to the nature of mental involvement. Literal translation, memory. Things that you go on remembering. If you don't have Shraddha, or Shraddha is weak, if you have not developed that vital strength, you lack good imagination. You lack the ability to recollect. Many things, good things have happened in your life. You don't recollect them. Only things you recollect that were negative ones. Someone shouted at you, someone twisted your ear or whatever. When you are with good mood, you remember good things of the past. When your mind is pressured by anxiety, you remember all the negative things of the past. When you are happy with a person, you remember all the good things the person meant to you. When you are displeased with the person, you remember all the bad things. The very sight of the person. So that's the mystery of how the mind goes on recollecting, getting involved. Understand, if you have that inner spiritual guts, strength, your memory will not be of trifle things. You will not create mountain of an anthill. Rather, you turn the mountain into an anthill. The moment you see things backed up by the strength of faith, nothing is impossible in this world. Even the greatest imagination in your mind, the greatest attainment, becomes just like a flake of cotton blowing in the wind. Vedanta says, from a straw to the state of Brahma, the creator, all this blows like the wind. They are alpam, little. As long as you are attaining something that is transient, that has a limit of time for its existence, even though it may stay for a long, long time, yet it is called little. Your goal is eternal, eternity. Now, therefore, your memory pattern begins to change, backed up by faith, backed up by your strength that allows you to do wonderful things in the world. It requires a strength to forgive a person. It requires a strength to bring out good quality in all relationships. You have to always adapt, adjust, persevere. then people discover goodness in each other. If that strength is lacking, you are unable to do that. And backed up by faith, backed up by strength, doing good deeds, allowing your heart to expand. Now your mind becomes engrossed in not little things. You're engrossed in who am I? What is the nature of the soul? Where am I? What am I? WWW as a who am I? Who am I? You are Brahman. Wow. Where am I? You are sustained by 1,000 arms of divine compassion. The Divine Mother holds you. Even with 2 arms, a baby feels quite safe. Here we are sustained by 1,000,000 arms. Wow. What am I? You are not an object. You are Satchidananda. Existence, knowledge, bliss, absolute. Big I, big wow. Remember, three W's. That's the Smriti level. Your mind gets engrossed. So many good things. Inner potentiality. How to awaken it. This is dramatized in the Ramayana. Hanuman, who is the very personification of faith and blossoming of the faith. Hanuman had the task of crossing over the ocean to bring the message of Sita to Rama. Of course, the task was given to all the monkeys of Rama's army. But all were paralyzed. No one thought they had the power to cross over that vast ocean. It was not by plane, it was just jumping. Hanuman had all the power, but he was just morosely seated, head down between the knees. Jambavan, a bear, all these mystical stories, plays the role of the guru. Hanuman, even when you were a child, how many wonderful things you did. Don't you remember? And when he heard all that, Hanuman suddenly grew up into a big, gigantic body. And even before saying anything, he, Ram Chandra ki jai, glory to Lord Rama, and he bounced and across the ocean. It's a dramatization that deep down, that potentiality to experience your attunement with God and all that is implied by it. That potentiality is sleeping, dormant. As you practice a spiritual sadhana, you are awakening it. And who is the guru? The yogi bear. Samadhi that allows your mind to get into a cave, enter into a mystic hibernation. Now come back to simple way. Faith that gave you strength of body, strength of mind, and a greater strength of ethical value that surpasses all strength. As you are getting internally strong, your mind throws off petty things. It's the weakness that brings the mind with so many burden of worries. If weakness is not there, you throw off that. The whole world is moving. God is taking care of all problems. You don't be a traveler in a train, see, old-time traveler. First time saw the train, entered the train and kept the whole luggage on his head. It's a hard time for others to convince him. He couldn't believe. Until he was educated enough to keep the bundle nearby and let the train take him and his bundle. Try to understand that subtle insight must develop. If it develops, you handle your worries in a profound way. Worries and anxieties, you can go on doing that because that's the nature of human personality. If you are injured, your hand goes on experiencing pain. If it were injured in your hand, you are injured in your mind, you go on experiencing pain. But in spite of that, there comes another level. You don't lose yourself in it. You don't become absolutely frustrated and develop a sense of absolute negativity. You are absolutely detached. The sun will shine again. The moon is behind the cloud, and the cloud is going to go away. And when the moon emerges out of the dark cloud, it shines brighter than before. Believe it or not. As this change occurs in your mind, not stress-free mental movement, mind that is without stress, it enjoys. Think of entering into a forest, beautiful things. But if you look at the borderline, fire is simmering, smoke is coming up. All your joy goes away. But when you realize there is no such thing, fire has been extinguished, there is nothing, then you enjoy all the splendor of the forest. If worries continue to stay in your mind, you are not aware of the splendor of divine presence within you. You just look with yourself, look at within yourself. Look at the world around you, the immensity of things. People will turn to the sky if someone were to say, that particular star will appear only after 1,000 years. And everyone watches that. That's called Maya. Every moment, the whole world is before you with all the splendor. You don't have to be calculative how many splendors. Just like you are healthy, you enjoy your whole body from the toes to the head without counting the toes and the fingers and so forth. If you are spiritually healthy, you are one with the entire universe. You look at the sky, you are up there. Look at the ocean, you are dancing with the waves. Look at the sun, you are shining through the rays. The moon, you are shedding nectar. I'm lifting you to a very high level. And it's a progressive movement. It doesn't come all that in one movement. But holding that ideal allows your life to move in an elegant way for a great purpose. If you don't have that, then you are driven by the burden of your mind. Even in situations that don't require you to go on holding the burden, you hold it. Even good situations then do not give you any benefit. Coming to next step. If your memory pattern, your mind has become positive, naturally your mind will become more and more engrossed in experiencing the divine presence. Behold the lilies of the field, how they grow. Jesus points out a sensitive way. Just looks at a lily. He says, even the Solomon with all his greatness was not arrayed like any one of these. The message of Jesus was not just to look for lilies. Anything in the world, any flower that blossoms, any experience that's like a blossoming flower, all is permeated by divine glory. If your mind goes on creating positive impressions, your experience of yourself will be amazing. You will move away from relative consciousness. Human consciousness is confined. Think of dream experience. Your consciousness is trapped by illusion of past, present, and future. The dream world, time of the dream world is not real. I will not go into too much details. In the same way, in day-to-day life, consciousness is based upon your brain, your nervous system. And you have evolved an idea, this is all am I. There's not. Suppose a bulb evolves the idea, this is all am I. But every bulb shines because there is a deeper connection with the electrical field. That electricity is universal. When you had the ability to walk out of the bulb and have the enormous experience without losing your bulb shape, without losing the function of the bulb, without losing the function of your individuality, become aware, open the window of the mind. I am the eternal. I'm a wave sustained by the ocean. That experience is the Samadhi, called Sahaja Samadhi. It's a spontaneous. But in order to attain it, yoga scriptures guide you how to practice concentration, meditation. If your mind stays focused, there develops super consciousness in degrees. Even in ordinary things, mind is trying to understand something, but it is distracted. Allow your mind to stay with japa, repetition of mantra. Stay with one, focused on one object. Clarity develops. Things that were not understood by you, suddenly they are revealed easily. That gives us a little idea of what I'm talking about, Samadhi. You go beyond your limited experience. You walk out of a limited house into the vastness. A bird that walks away from the tree that has been holding it spreads its wings and enjoys immense expansion. That experience is there latent in every individual. You get a little sniff of it when you go to sleep. You walk away from all your problems and you wake up and say, I knew nothing, a sound sleep. If you could consciously get into that state, a positive counterpart of sleep, that is Samadhi. And that's your essential nature. Just like sleep should come to you day by day. Samadhi is your constant reality. And that Samadhi level of awareness does not disturb your practical reality. Generally, students, sadhaks, hearing this, they begin to create a imagination in their mind. Should I be in Samadhi or should I be working? Should I assert all is Brahman? Or should I go after little things? The answer to that is there should be no contradiction. Rather, Your attention given to the practical reality should be so sharp that you don't lose too much time and energy in handling your realities. Dexterity of action comes automatically as your meditative movement becomes rich. If it doesn't, then means you are not practicing, you are not understood sadhana. You need to go on doing that, come under greater guidance. When you enter to Samadhi level, Sarvatra Hari Darshanam, God is everywhere. Your mind enjoys an immensity of experience. Normal human mind always thinking, once upon a time there was Jesus. When will he come back again? Once there was Satya Yuga. How long will it take to have another Satya Yuga? You live in a world so extended. But when you are entering into Samadhi, the when term doesn't mean anything. It is ever-present reality. God is everywhere, internally, externally. Pure awareness, that's the reality, called Chaitanya. In that Chaitanya, your mind and senses have created a magical reflections. Just like in dream it does. All dream experience is reflections in your consciousness. You don't know it until you wake up. In the same way, all your experiences are reflections in consciousness. To wake up means to attain enlightenment. And that described in devotional language, to see God everywhere. To experience the great truth. The entire world is overfilled with the presence of God. The Hindi way of saying, labalab bhara hua hai. Siya Ram mai sab jag jani. Everywhere there is Rama and Sita, God and his magical power. What happens to your intellect if you experience Samadhi? Your intellect undergoes a change. If your intellect remains under the guidance of ego, controlled by ego's sentiments, that intellect can flourish in an intellectual way, academic knowledge. But when intellect becomes free from the domination of ego, no egoism, rather ego turns into a humble ego, a transparent ego. At every moment it oozes with divine humility. Then your intellect flourishes. It is no longer solving the problem of karma, death, what's going to happen to the world. So many things, all alpam, little. It's simply, when it doesn't have any problem to resolve, a magic happens. Intellect has been like a caterpillar. As long as it has been given the food for Vishaya Vasana, little thinking. Once the little thinking has gone away, it starves. The caterpillar. Magic happens. It turns on its back, splits, the whole body splits. A butterfly. I'm giving you a drama. A transformation occurs. That's called intuitive intellect. That's the goal of all spiritual movement. Your intellect now is glimpsing things as cosmic mind would and cannot be imagined. The term for that intellect is prajna. In the beginning, you have glimpses of that intellect. And you get it only once in the blue moon. But as you advance, that becomes your nature. You are rooted in that type of intellect all the time. They're called sthita prajna. If you have come to that state, you are called jivan mukta, liberated in life. You have attained the goal. Anything else may go on, but your movement will be gradual ascent without the descent, gradual movement upwards without the fall, until you are absolutely full, perfect. The reflected sun has walked away from its vessel. It has ascended a rope of light. As it ascends, it looks at so many reflected suns in so many buckets, sends out message of hope, joy, compassion, goes on ascending, goes on experiencing its immense expansion, goes on saying, wow, wow, wow. Until it discovers, I am the sun. And all the wow wows go away also. Once you are in that ascent movement, not to be confined into that bucket again, you are liberated. You are not in a rush. You are enjoying your expansion until you discover absolute identity with Brahman. This is the entire story, well planned in Raja Yoga. It gives you all scriptures. They deal with these points. In 21st Sutra, Tivra Samvegananam Asanna. Those who move with the intense momentum of Vairagya, along with these points that I described, upayas. Upaya means that lead you to an end. If you have Vairagya, dispassion, detachment, along with your practice of faith, developing spiritual strength, memory of God, along with these practices, if Vairagya or dispassion is supporting you, your attainment of the highest goal is faster. Two terms we use therefore, Vairagya and Abhyasa. Abhyasa is repeated practice of your japa, your prayer, your integral yoga plan, whatever you have come to determine what you should practice. You should practice it repeatedly. But while you are doing it, your mind comes to understand a higher reality. Your illusions must move away. You should not hold on to the illusion. You are trying to make yourself strong. You are weak, therefore you are using a stick. Now you are getting better and still you want to use this stick. The process of getting better will be slowed down. So therefore, detach and attach. Detach from the illusions, get more and more attached to God within you. If both aspects are intense in nature, your success is the fastest. Each of these come under three categories. Mridu, Madhya, Adhimatra. Your practice can be mild. It can be moderate. It can be intense. Your vairagya can be mild, vairagya dispassion. It can be moderate, it can be intense. Now try to create permutations and combinations between these two sets of three. Mild practice, intense vairagya. Moderate practice, intense vairagya. Intense practice, intense vairagya. Mild practice, mild vairagya. Moderate practice, mild vairagya. Intense practice, mild vairagya. So practitioners are of so many types. So many students come in a university. How is it that all don't attain the highest? Only those who have intense term in both aspects, intense vairagya, dispassion, and intense abhyasa. Your positive movement has gathered momentum, moving with intensity. And we will detail upon it next time. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti.
Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate Om Shanti Shanti Shanti